Hello humans and welcome to MMO-Play's Top Lists, a segment where we cover the cream of the MMO crop. For today's episode, I'll be talking about the top 10 World of Warcraft bosses, so let's hop to it. Starting off our list at number 10 is a king, and I am of course referring to the Lich King. Now you didn't think I'd make a top 10 list without mentioning the King of the Undead, right? It takes more than just dedication to chip away at his staggering 103 million health. Heroic Lich King with no buff was improbable at best, but victory at any level against this god amongst men is no less impressive. And at number 9, we have Lady ONYXIA. You would never know this boss spent years masquerading as the highest of nobles in Stormwind based on her behavior in this boss fight. Upon entering her lair, you learned rather quickly to tank and spake while steering clear of that lethal tail. But the real challenge was to battle a boss airborne and en fuego. When this dragon takes a deep breath, raids perish. On the bright side, however, the judgment hood she dropped upon defeat made my pally singed head very happy afterwards, also hid the tail marks. Number 8 on our list, Deathwing, is actually number 9's daddy. When Deathwing was first revealed as the last boss for Cataclysm, players knew this was going to be an epic encounter right off the bat. The sheer size of this beast alone was enough to make even the max level players quiver in their raiding boots. Slaying what seemed to be endless tentacles, bloods, and corruptions, you also had to simultaneously tear armor off Deathwing at the same time. Once you had that system down, victory was certainly yours, but the legacy of this boss encounter resonated with players for long after. Coming in at number 7 is That Who Shall Not Be Named, Meru. This boss touts one of the biggest execution fights in World of Warcraft. Fighting a demon that can summon orbs and cast DPS darkness isn't exactly easy, especially when you throw Fury Mages and Shadow Sword Berserkers into the mix. With some guilds reporting over 500 wipes from this boss alone, needless to say it got the nerf. But even post-nerf guilds still fear Sunwell Plateau and the horrors of Meru. And at number 6, we have KAEL'THAS. This boss battle consisted of 5 different phases, 5 different mobs to take on, as well as a set of weapons hell-bent on destroying your raid. Safe to say this battle brought the big guns. You needed to be on your toes and ready to face whatever KAEL'THAS threw at you, or your raid was sure to wipe. Being one of those characters you just love to hate, victory over this blood elf certainly never tasted sweeter. Number 5 on our list is another winged boss, VAELASTRASZ. When first introduced to VAELASTRASZ, being possessed and attaining infinite rage, energy, and mana, you knew you were in for a long and arduous battle. A task requiring a 40-man crew, it was easy for one person to blow it for the rest of the raid, which often happened. It didn't help that the Corrupt's Fiery Breath dealt 5k damage either. You pretty much had to take this guy out before the 3-minute buff wore off, or you would wipe. At number 4 is none other than Khotun. Khotun is one of the game's timeless bosses. Expansions later, and this giant eyeball is still a force to be reckoned with in Anchorage. Think Eye of Sauron, but with lasers and tentacles? Back in the day, some people said this boss was impossible, especially before the dev fixes were implemented. Guilds who didn't self-destruct during the 2 phases of terror certainly wouldn't forget the harrowing experience. The final damsel on this list is our number 3 boss, Lady Vashj. I don't know if I should place her in this list or the Gives Me Nightmares list. I still sometimes dream of Tainted East. Why is the Strider going through the middle? Grab the core, get away from the green stuff. Come on, last 10%, burn her. Needless to say, this fight required perfect execution on all levels. Hands down, it was one of the toughest fights in World of Warcraft, but the tier 5 helm piece she dropped kinda softened the blow. Coming in at a very close second is Illidan's Stormrage. Illidan is not only the symbol of the whole Burning Crusade Expansion 1, he's also an example for many players of what a true raid should look like. Illidan was seriously enormous, even kneeling down in the middle of the Black Temple. Born from a rich storyline, Illidan lived up to his legacy in battle and has since become one of the most iconic raid bosses in Warcraft history. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, our numero uno is Ragnaros. If you've been playing World of Warcraft since before the Burning Crusade came out, then you probably don't need an explanation who Ragnaros is. Known as Elemental Lord and Master of all fire elements, he resided in Molten Core. He truly felt like the game's first big boss, and boy was he a force to be reckoned with. The raid worked together to attain as much rep as possible to collect water and extinguish all of the runes. When Ragnaros finally fell was truly an epic moment in raiding. Well, that wraps up our top 10 list of World of Warcraft bosses. If there's someone you think deserves a spot on this list, be sure and let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe for all that MMO goodness. And I'll see you guys very soon.